The 90s have been really boring because a lot of the pseudo-punk revival and the grunge revolution that kind of happened several years back really brainwashed people into thinking that bands with anything more than, a t-shirt and jeans were insincere. And then they started, calling people like us shock rock and, regenerating a lot of these terms from the 80s and things. But I've always felt that, this is what rock and roll was meant to be. The bands that I grew up liking, Kiss and Bowie and Alice Cooper and things like that, were all very powerful icons, and I think that's an important part of music. And it's no surprise that we would continue on in that fashion, but it's something that, hopefully we'll see more of in music in the 90s, the end of the millennium here.
My question is, do you feel that you've gained power from your success?
Well, that's one element that is really dealt with on Antichrist Superstar. It's about, not only the power that we've gotten to at this point, but what will be achieved in the years to come. And I feel that, yes, we have gained some popularity, but I don't feel like we have succeeded or that we're done with what we achieved to accomplish.
I was wondering, did you have a happy childhood?
Some parts of it were. In the past, I've talked a lot about things that happened to me as a kid, but not all of it's been bad. In fact, I think most of it really gave me the power to be where I'm at now, because I chose not to be victimized by the things that happened to me as a kid. Everybody's heard a lot of the stories about the experiences I had with my strange grandfather, which I kind of go into on the song Kinderfeld on the new album, which he was just a strange character who, and I call him a character because he doesn't seem like a real person in some ways, but he had this large collection of really deviant pornography that he kept in the basement, and he would turn these trains on, and we'd think he would be playing with his trains, but he was actually doing a lot of really sick things. And this was something I discovered when I was about 12, and it was something that I became really fascinated with. And it was a weird introduction for me into everything. It was kind of a loss of innocence, and it was a realization that a lot of things that are thought to be pure weren't at all.
What's your favorite fetish item?
Favorite fetish item? I'm not much into the conventional, trendy sex things that people get off on these days. I'm actually more conservative and nostalgic. I find that brown thigh-high pantyhose are the most sexually appealing thing to me. So I actually wear them myself on stage because it's hard to find girls that'll wear them.
Hi, how long did you spend in the studio making this album, and which do you prefer more, the studio or being on the road, and why?
We spent about 6 months in the studio trying to transcribe tapes that we had made on tour, and over the past 5 years, a lot of dreams that I had that I wrote down. And we spent a lot of time almost torturing ourselves at some points, trying to put it all together, because the album is a bit of a ritual in some sense to bring about the apocalypse, and whether that's in of the subconscious or of the real world, that's up for everyone to decide on their own. But we spent 6 hard months of sleep deprivation, drug experimentation, and all sort of pain rituals and things, trying to tap into the subconscious and find this record. And when we were done, it was a great weight off of our backs.
Yeah, what bands did you guys listen to when you were growing up?
Growing up, let's see. maybe me and Twiggy will trade off. You go ahead, Twiggy.
Well, Dr. Hook, Iron Maiden, Wasp,
Bauhaus,
Stooges.
Adamant. I mentioned before Bowie and Alice Cooper and Kiss and that thing. Dio, Black Sabbath, a lot of that stuff. When you're the high school era, I remember I was probably about 14 when bands like Motley Crue,
Shout at the Devil
started. Yeah.
Twisted Sister.
Yeah, I have a question. I was curious about how Marilyn got into Anton LaVey and the Satanic Religion.
Well, it's one philosophy among many that I enjoy and incorporate into my different ideas. As a kid growing up, I was into a lot of people like Aleister Crowley and Friedrich Nietzsche and Darwin and even Freud to a certain extent. And Anton LaVey was kind of a modern version of all of those people. And Satanism is something that gets really sensationalized in America, but it's really a philosophy about self-preservation and being an individual, and being your own God. It doesn't really have a whole lot to do with worshiping the devil. In fact, at this point, if I'm not mistaken, Marilyn Manson is bigger than Satan.
If you weren't musicians, what would you be?
So are you calling me a musician?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I suppose TV evangelism, would be my only alternative. It's kind of similar what I do. I have things on my mind that I want to say, and I go around the country saying them to a lot of people. It's not real different than what a missionary would do, except that I have to pay taxes at the end of the year.
20 questions with Marilyn Manson. We like to do this with our guests. I'll just throw out the questions. You say the first thing that comes to your mind, which in your case might be a mistake. 20 questions with Marilyn Manson. Are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes.
What do you think of Eddie Vedder?
I saw him recently, and he was brown and had a beard. He looked like a Mexican migrant worker.
Were you in the school band?
Yeah, I played the triangle.
What is your favorite cartoon?
I guess I'm going to go with the popular South Park.
Do you think Jesus really had a beard?
I think Jesus was the first sex symbol, and he may or may not be similar to Eddie Vedder.
Name 3 characters from The Cosby Show.
Willis, Kimberly, and Arnold.
That's right, oddly enough.
Amazing.
Have you ever baked anything?
Does crystal meth count?
Sure. What do you think of Courtney Love?
She's going to find a way to edit my comment somehow. She'll go back in time.
No matter what it is you say?
Yeah, no matter what I say. So I think she's just great.
How old do you think you'll get?
I never think about things like that.
When was the last time you got punched?
I guess yesterday, because we were in the studio and I threw some whiskey in my Twiggy's face and he punched me.
He's the most tolerant man in America, that Twiggy. The fact that he shows up for work every day is a miracle.
Which is your favorite Winter Olympic event?
I don't like sports at all.
Which is your favorite Spice Girl?
I like the fat one.
Ginger, yeah. Chubby Spice, sorry.
Chubby Spice. What did you dress as on Halloween?
A cowboy.
Do you reckon you'll ever have kids?
In what way?
Smells like children.
Do you reckon you'll ever use the word reckon?
No.
Would you rather hang out with a guy named Rob or a guy named Chuck?
That's some weird inside radio joke.
No, we just said
No, it's not. It's not. No.
If it's Rob Lowe, I would ask him to play me that videotape that he did a couple years back.
Have you ever been called cute?
Yeah, cute's not a good word.
Have you ever gone fishing?
I did go fishing as a kid.
Really?
A couple times.
And what do you think of Tony Orlando and or Don?
Personally, I'm more Captain and Tennille than
I'm with you.
Orlando.
I'm with you there.
That's the way we figured.
That's right.
We took bets
Figured that.
earlier. We figured you'd go Captain.
The hat.
20 questions with Marilyn Manson. Marilyn, you have been a terrific guest. We've really